Well, Oz, it was great seeing you earlier, opening up the Simpsons wine estate. We have yet to taste their sparkling wine, which I've heard will be released in 2 years. But how long have you been excited about English wine?
Gosh, since well, I come from this area. I mean, but you know, my mum lives in Canterbury. I was my first ever place I can remember in Kent was Bishopsbourne. It's a mile down the road.
Yeah.
And I remember there's a place called Staple. In the 1980s, we used to drink wine a chap called Bill Ash, a great big Bardolph-like character, used to make Staple wine just outside Wingham. Every year I used to think, God, this is good. It's like sort of, I don't know, I didn't know much Chablis or something. And I said it was wonderful wine. Nobody was listening. About 20 years ago, Elam Valley Vineyards, got about an acre or two. I tasted it and thought, oh, God, this stuff's good. So pure. The thing about the Kentish wines that I've always loved is the absolute purity of flavour when they come off soils like these. Because these are really seriously chalky
And do you think that's
soils.
what marks Kent out from other regions such as Sussex or Cornwall?
A lot of Sussex's work has been done on green sand, which is a perfectly good soil, but it's not really chalk. It's degraded something or other. A lot of clays have been planted, which, to my great surprise, work surprisingly well. But what Kent has is just masses and masses of chalk. You've got the White Cliffs of Dover, and if you stand on the White Cliffs of Dover and look over to Calais, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. They're like that. They're exactly the same. You get to Calais, you can walk along the chalk ridges all the way to Champagne. You can end up in the Côte de Blanc in Champagne with a glass of Chardonnay in your hand and think, all I've done is walk on exactly the same soil as they've got in Kent, running from the South Downs, running from the North Downs. There's thousands and thousands of acres of potential vineyard land here.
And the chalk, it's so important for the purity, you were saying, of the sparkling wine. So for people who are watching this and they were like, yeah, it's got chalk, so what? What does that chalk actually...
Being technical about it, it's an alkaline thing. An alkaline is sort of relatively soft. And alkaline soils, chalky soils, make acid juice. And acid juice, it doesn't sound too nice. And I can see the look on your face. You won't get away with that. Acid juice. She said, I don't like the sound of that. But acid juice, you can't make sparkling wine without acid juice.
Yeah.
Because carbon dioxide, all the bubbles in the sparkling wine are very soft. Carbon dioxide actually is an acid called carbonic acid. You think it's an acid, it's got to be acid. No, it doesn't. Like lactic acid. Milk's full of lactic acid. Milk doesn't taste acid until it goes off and suddenly it tastes acid. But the thing about limestone soils, chalk soils, they're very alkaline and they produce an acid soil. Clay is actually a very acid soil and it produces alkaline juice. And what we want is alkaline soils, chalk and limestone, creating an acid juice, which is then very fresh in your mouth, and it tingles along your tongue. You shove some bubbles on that, so the bubbles actually are quite, it doesn't seem like it, but the gas is quite soft, so it neutralizes the acid, and yet they explode all over your palate, and they make you feel all frisky and bright and happy.
I can definitely empathise with that today.
Yes. And sexy, by the way, I forgot to tell you, but there we are.
And sexy.
And excuse me, were you looking at me when you said that?
Of course.
Thank you very much. God, I really struggle to get a compliment off this girl.
You just get lots of hugs instead.
They'll do fine.
And so, we're talking about how this city is very important. Do you think then Champagne is going to struggle if climate change is becoming more and more of an accepted reality? Do you think actually then Britain might even exceed other Champenoise growers in terms of getting that purity in their wines?
I love the look on your face. I mean, am I supposed to take this seriously? Well, the simple answer is yes, it could. Yes, it could. So your naughty question is getting a naughty answer. Yes, it could. We don't know what's going to happen with climate change and global warming with the Gulf Stream, because the Gulf Stream, we rely on the Gulf Stream a lot in coastal northern Europe. It will stop. It has to stop. If there's no Arctic ice cap, you can't have a Gulf Stream. And that's going to make a massive difference to our temperatures in this country. But in the short to medium term, they're finding conditions in the warmer years in Champagne very, very difficult. 2015, some of the guys, they had to stop picking in 2015 during the harvest because the grapes were so hot. The juice was virtually boiling inside the grapes, and they said, we can't pick, we've got to stop the picking to try and let the grapes cool down. So when you think that traditionally southern England's been about 1 degree centigrade colder than champagne. Well, in that ripening period, that 1 degree centigrade temperature difference, that's already gone. In this century, that's already gone. Now, our temperatures the details are different. When the warmth comes, when the rain comes, all this. If you look at what's happened in the last few years in August, which on the whole has been rather wet in England, but so has it been in France, you then get into September and October. Every single year we're getting a warmer September. Every single year we're getting a warmer October. We're in a situation with these fantastic chalk and limestone soils and the green sand soils of Sussex. People like Nightingale rely heavily on things like green sand, which is very good. Some people make good wine off the clay as well. But we've basically, particularly if we're talking about Kent here, there's a real chance for chalky, limestoney, chalky soils. There's a real chance in this corner of Kent where it's in a rain shadow. And I know it because I've been here since I was 3 years old, and a number of times.
And you proposed to that girl when you were 4, yeah, down the road.
I thought
you made your first proposal here.
I made my first proposal with a girl called Sarah, very nice, and I put on my Wellington boots and my Macintosh, and I walked to her house, and I proposed to her. When she said yes, please, I said, I think I need to have a term at school first before we get married. And I'm ashamed to say, I never saw her again. I'm so feckless, I'm so unreliable, I'm so fickle, I'm a typical bloke.
But at least Kent, it's a place of inspiration, trying new things, proposals.
Yeah, and it's actually fun. It's behind the race at the moment. Yeah. The race has been led by Sussex, followed by Hampshire, partly because Sussex, places like Ridgeview and Nightingale, didn't bother with saying, well, we've got to build up a still wine business. And the Kent ones, they've built up year after year, put an enormous amount of effort into making still wines, people like Lamberhurst and those kind of people, which people didn't really think were particularly exciting, on all those Germanic hybrid crops, and not hybrids, but the Germanic, those grapes like Müller-Thurgau and Reichensteiner and Huxelweber and all that, which nobody finds very attractive. And they were doing those for 20 or 30 years, whereas the rest of southern England has mostly said, to hell with those, straight to sparkling wine.
Straight to bubbles.
Now,
do you think Kent's caught on?
I think Kent is catching on. West Kent is already starting to do some exciting stuff around Westerham, that kind of way. East Kent is just crying out for some stars to rise, and I think Simpsons, these guys, will be a rising star.
Yeah. Very, very excited. Well, it was fantastic speaking to you now, and you did a wonderful intro to the launch earlier. So lovely seeing you, and you are, I don't have to give you lots of compliments. You are the guru. You are the one and only Oz Clarke. So thank you very much. Thank you. Lovely seeing you.
Just so long as I'm huggable. That's
all. Always huggable. Eminently huggable.
Looking for love. That's me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.